Who all we got in here today? About 4 minutes of the tournament. Supposed to kick off live streaming. Okay. I'm trying to get everything set up. Alright, Jeremy. I'm doing alright. Trying to get all this set up right. Alright, Jeremy. I'm doing alright. Trying to get all. Who else we got in here? I hear about low budget studios all the time. Y'all ain't seen low budget yet. If people want to watch this, I ain't got nothing to do for about 2 hours a day. I'm gonna watch a couple hours of it. I figure I'd bring the lifers along with me. Yeah, I'm over here. What's up, Jeremy? Showing 3 in here. And they show off the air. What the hell? It's 8 o'clock. They're supposed to be on. This is the very first one. They might be having technical difficulties. Hell, I think I'm having technical difficulties too. Jeremy, the weather is windy. That's the best I can tell you. Bad windy. Close that out and reopen it and see. See if I got a later board up. What made me interested in this series opposed to other ones, all these guys are like us. They just working, taking off a week of their life once a month to fish these tournaments for the biggest part. Now, they got some big names in them, but not very many. Matt Looney, I know him. I watch him on YouTube. Find a couple of these names. See if I got the live broadcast up yet. And it still says it's off there. And they're supposed to be up by 8 o'clock live on the water. That's good as long as I stay like that, huh? I'm trying to figure out why they're not live. How about that? Looks like they're working on it anyway. I'll start broadcast, and I turn it around back towards it. Yeah, technical difficulty. Storing my line. So it's gonna begin shortly. Like they're gonna. Yeah, I hadn't. I used to fish derbies. I hadn't fished ever anything like this, but I would like to think that I could. All right, they're making noise anyway now.
Winning the first NPFL event at Eufaula would be life-changing.
It would build that confidence in the decision that I made to come back out on the trail. The bait and hand choice is probably going to be
You think that's it, Okie Road?
spinnerbait.
More shallow fishing. You'll see some swim jigs, chatterbaits.
I empty them first, though,
frogs.
brother. I empty them
Chatterbaits
first.
and swim jigging up in the grass.
You know, flipping bite could come into play as well.
If we get those warm days, you're going to have some fish spawning during that time.
I'm going to say 20 pounds a day, so 60 pounds. 60 to 65 pounds.
If the weather is good, maybe high 60s.
21, 22 pound average over 3 days to win the event.
There's a lot of unknowns, but Will and the rest of the 125 anglers are fixing to bring y'all some bass to watch on NPFL Live.
All right, we got David Dudley and Luke Duncan's face on here talking right now.
Welcome, friends and neighbors, to the National Professional Fishing League. Welcome, friends and neighbors, to the National Professional Fishing League and our inaugural event at Lake Eufaula in the big bass capital of the world, Eufaula, Alabama. I'm Luke Duncan, and today I'll be joined by David Dudley and bass fishing funny man Fat Cat Newton to bring you 6 hours of live coverage of our 110 National Professional Fishing League pros as they do battle out on Lake Eufaula. And to hear more about the Lake Eufaula battle, I'm going to throw it to bass fishing legend and somebody that knows Eufaula really well, Mr. David Dudley.
So this lake is 45,000 acres of turf. And one thing about this lake that is so cool, you're going to see in the game today, and yes, I'm going to call this day a game. You're going to watch the game play out. You're going to watch people that are going to be fishing
I promise you
offshore.
next time
They're
we're
going to
gonna
be
watch
fishing
it.
brush
We're
piles.
watching
You're going to
this.
see some people sight fishing today. You're going to see some people fishing in the transition areas.
And what's everybody been up
The great thing about
to?
this
Both
game
of
is
you.
we're at a time of the year, Luke.
You got everything
when
planned at
there's
Okie Road?
not one thing that's really dominant. You got fish moving all over the place. So the person, the angler that can stay ahead of the game, which means go where the fish are coming, where they're staging, and that's the beauty of fishing. Fishing is so cool because in a game of fishing, you think you are so dialed in. The cool thing about it is, Luke, we talked to these anglers last night. This audience is going to be able to see a lot of things that you probably wouldn't think are happening today. And I'm excited because I'm going to be able to sit there and learn for myself. That's the beauty of live. We got 10 cameras. You can watch the whole game. I'm excited. So we're going to see a variety of fishing today.
I think so. From talking to the 10 anglers we've got cameras on today, there's going to be anything from dirt shallow, skinny
Yep.
water fishing to guys using forward-facing live scope sonar, out fishing brush piles. We're going to see a lot of things, a lot of techniques to be learned. But we have 21 hours of live coverage coming to you from Eufaula over the next 3 days while we watch these 110 pros jockey for this huge trophy that's over our shoulder, $50,000 first place prize, and over almost $500,000 in prize money, total prize money. 36 guys coming out here with a check. So there's really 2 tournaments going on. You got the guys down there trying to win $9 grand, the guys trying to win $50,000. We're going to bring you all of it right here. And just to go over some of the rules of the game, it's a cumulative weight process. So 3 days, you bring in your 5 biggest bass each day. We're going to weigh them every afternoon. And the guy at the end of the week, the biggest 15 bass that we see,
What's up, Gunner?
that's who's going to take home this beautiful trophy. The bass have to be 14 inches in length, so 14-inch minimum length to make it into the live well. They're going to keep them alive all day long, bring them up here, and we're going to get to see them. I think Eufaula, like Dudley said, it's fishing all over the place, but we are going to see some very big bass, and I think we're fixing to go see some live action on the water right now.
Right
All
now.
right, so of our 10 guys that we're going to get to see, who are you looking most forward to?
Who would you think they'd go to first? Rob Turkle,
After talking to
Lockers
all 10
TV.
anglers, I kind of had a few in mind. A Tucker I thought was going to be pretty strong, but after talking to all 10
We're
anglers,
going to get in. Yeah.
it's like, oh my gosh, mind-blowing what we got going on out there today. And talking to me and telling me what they're doing, it just wrecked my mind. So today we're going to be able to talk you through it. You guys might think we're entering the spawn. That's what they're going to be doing. I can tell you today, that's not going to be what they're doing. You would think everybody would be going to the bank to spawn, which there is some spawning.
It's going on.
There
yeah.
is some spawning, but people always want, how do you intercept the bass in transition days? Today, you do not want to leave this live. Today, we are going to break down, I'm going to explain to you what is actually going through their mind,
There they are
what
catching
they're looking
fish.
for, and why they're looking for it. So this game is, we could talk about championship days. This game today is going to be extremely valuable because fish are in transition, and it's going to be cool to listen to their mind.
Here we go. We got going live to Mr. Lunkers TV himself, Rob Turkle, who's no stranger to a camera, but he is a stranger to professional bass fishing. This is kind of his first year foray into professional fishing, and he got lucky, and we put a camera in his boat today to watch him break down Eufaula. He sounded confident. Yesterday I talked to him. Fishing shallow water, he thinks the fish are coming to him, so we'll see what happens with Mr. Rob Turkle.
He's got a great presence on YouTube and just social media. He's an incredible fisherman. He's been fit, we don't know him on the professional side, but on the YouTube world and his fishing videos and what he's accomplished has been awesome.
Yeah, it truly is. There are 2 different worlds in this inside the fishing industry. You have the pro fishing world, and then you have the influencer, YouTuber marketing world, and now they are colliding right here on NPFL Live. We're getting to see that firsthand. And Rob he's fished a couple events this year. He's had a couple rough goes this year so far. But I think he's just talking to him after practice. He was confident, and he likes to fish shallow. He likes to flip. He likes to swim a jig.
Are they already going?
And so he's, of course, got the GoPro running. He'll have all this content on his YouTube channel for sure. And hopefully it's him catching a few bass for us this morning.
It's like anything in life, though, Luke. You have growing pains in anything you do. Rob, is entering a new adventure, and there's no doubt he's got the mindset to be one of the greatest anglers. But he's just in anything in life, you're going to have growing pains,
No doubt.
and
And I'll say this. I've said this on a few podcasts. He will be judged more harshly than any other angler starting out because he's got 2 million followers in the world. You know, so if he didn't come out of the gate swinging, he definitely comes with a lot of pressure. But I think Rob, former military guy, veteran, he can handle pressure.
Oh,
Definitely.
Yeah. You're not going to rattle him.
No, not in the least.
The people that come, I think people who have a big presence, comments. They could have your garage people who are going to attack you.
The mom's basement crowd. They can tune it out.
They don't realize that it doesn't phase. It doesn't penetrate the skin. So I think, I've dealt with it in my career. You're going to have, and I've come to realize.
Just listen to him talk, watching a raw fish, not catching fish.
It's just, you're not going to please everybody.
I've seen it flash one time. I think the official leaders already caught a 6-pounder.
In the first 10 minutes.
Updated as we go. How about that?
Yeah, I think I'm a bigger fan of you than you are.
Oh, I don't know about that. David Dudley's one of my fishing heroes. I've talked about that a lot. But guys, we're excited you're tuning in. We really went through a process to pick these 10 guys. Now, from this point forward, after today, when all the weights are logged in at the end of the day after our weigh-in, we will know who our top 10 is, obviously going out for day 2. So our top 10 cameras tomorrow will obviously be based on standings. Today we had a mix of how we picked them, and I'm telling you, I think we got a cast of characters you guys are going to enjoy for sure. Dudley and I have enjoyed getting to know the guys that we don't know that well, and I really think all you fishing fans out there are going to enjoy some of these NPFL anglers today, and going to learn a lot as well as we go along.
Looking, and for you listeners, and what?
Where are you going to?
I think we've got
Optimized.
angler, Dudley, that
Y'all are probably
you
gone.
and I talked to yesterday, and I think it's safe to say he is an absolute. I won't say he is he is the spark plug of the National Professional Fishing League.
That dude's got some energy.
And that's Louis Fernandez, and he's a West Coast guy, California boy, and he is a absolute. He told me he's a big ride, big weight California Delta guy, but his attitude and overall feel is just amazing.
Two giants right here. I hope you left some for me. The cool thing about this spot right here, it's right off the main channel.
Morning or the other day?
You're going to have fish move up on this bank all day today. All day throughout the day, you're going to have fish move up on here. We've been fishing for about 45 minutes.
So something that Louis told us yesterday, he's around big fish. You heard him say it there a few seconds ago.
Especially after he lost two.
Saw a guy lose some big ones. He told me he caught a 9 and a 6 in practice. He was full of confidence last night. And he told me at 11 a.m. he's got a little something sneaky he's going to show us. So
What's up, Texas Real? And I'm watching this tournament. If I do it again, I'll try to have it where y'all can watch it. But
now on the live leaderboard, it's a little slow right now. But that's
killing time. I wanted to see how it went. This is a new one. This one, old Lunkers TV's fishing in.
Progresses, the water's going to be warming. They're going to be moving up.
They're in Eufaula, Alabama.
Just common sense.
They're going to be in Texarkana April the 22nd, though. We're going to have to go watch that.
Pick up a lot more as the day goes on. Interesting enough, you got Mr. California kid, Flat Brimmer. I mean, I kind of knew where he was from. The second I talked to him, he had his flat brim. I said, "You from California?" I didn't say that, but I just assumed just where he was from.
And then we're back up.
If you listen to him talk, he's talking about a depression. And if you listeners are listening, it's just right now fish are in transition, and he's Basically, a depression means a highway, something that
Just hanging out watching this tournament.
to migrate to find that spawning ground that they want to go to.
If I do this again, I'll have it set up where we can all watch it, but that didn't happen
interstate.
today.
So he's
Y'all can hear it.
You know,
A lot
of course, he's
pulling up the bank
channeling on
and just getting a
highway.
6, 7, 5 real quick. They're in that stage right now where little pods of them are moving up on the bank, just moving out of the deep water, ready to eat. Just like this morning when we pulled up here. It was fast and furious for about the first 20 minutes.
I mean, he's so confident, man, in what he's doing. I'm telling you, I think we're going to see him hit a home run before the
We're
first
around
one.
him. We're definitely around him.
So he's got 2 fish in the box already. Huh. You know, I asked Louie, I said, are you
I didn't know
doing the
John
brush
Cox
stomp
was
thing?
fishing
Are you doing
this.
the thing?
That's cool.
Bro, he acted like I insulted his mother. He's like, bro, I am a power fisherman. I am going to be power fishing, covering a lot of water. Now, he did say there's a lot of time in between bites for him, but when
They
he gets
better have a camera on John Cox's boat. That'd be cool.
That drain comes off the main channel. Goes along
Again,
this
he's talking
bank
about
right
the
here.
highway.
Cuts into this cut, and they're just using this drain right here as a highway. All you got to do is intersect them. All you got to do. It really don't even matter what bait. You can throw a spinner bait in there. You can throw a chatterbait. You can throw a lipless. You can throw whatever, something moving. As long as you get that bait in front of them, intersect them before they move in these bays, it's lights out.
Okay, guys, we're fixing to take our first real short 2-minute commercial break. You're going to hear from the fine folks at Omega Custom Tackle, and I think hear from our buddy Fat Cat Newton. A little commercial break, and we'll be back with you. I promise you, this is going to be nonstop action all day long, so stay with us.
What's up, Truth? Yeah, it's been too windy all week. And don't look like it's going to get better. I need to be out there working on that new boat. Oh, you probably hadn't seen that yet. I have a video coming up Sunday. I did something dumb.
You're going to be getting these random text messages of these awesome deals. You guys are going to be getting the best deals and the best lures out there during live streaming. All you have to do is go to lunkertext.com/NPFL and be a part of the movement where you get the biggest, baddest bait.
Oh, it's nothing special. Truth. Nothing special. It's going to be probably 3 or 4 months before I get on the water.
Omega products are built by fishermen for fishermen. We set
What's
out
up,
to build
Cedar
the
Creek
best
Freaks?
operating
Trying to
team on the market.
watch this live stream of this tournament. I was trying to fix it where we could all watch it, but that didn't happen like that.
Desire to achieve perfection are the pillars of the Rapture bait. Nothing in life worth having comes easy. The Rapture was no different. Countless hours of testing and retesting. The result, a vibrating jig.
Mad about this wind, if you don't know the truth, Cedar Creek Freaks.
Blue Water by TH Marine, offering LED lighting solutions for your boat, trailer, truck, ATV, and so much more. Blue Water by TH Marine.
I'm in the juice, man. Come on.
Put a mirror behind me. Yeah, I guess so.
I like that. What a perfect
I
thing.
got a camera holder for my phone where I can put it on tripod, but I broke it, so I have to get another one.
The juice. That's all I need to hear.
Yep, the juice is, of course, a term used for.
I hadn't used it since probably about the 6 months after I started YouTube. And I had a smaller phone then, it wouldn't hold this
Where the
phone.
money is going to be made. That's what he's hoping.
He's looking at that bank, thinking that's where the money is going to be coming.
Yeah, I mean, I got a video coming out tonight.
Now, Dave,
Me and Eddie over on Lone Star, and
you see that shoreline vegetation?
he did good. I didn't. I mean, I caught one good fish, but every one of them was in less than 2 foot of water.
Girl. Yeah, you could definitely see he's got the main lake in the back, in the back there.
Yeah, somebody's already got 15-4 in the box. That's pretty good. Ain't been running about
And this time of year, we talked about we
about an hour, I think.
Fish are on the move.
Hour and 15 minutes.
Come in shallow to spawn. The natural thing that bass are going to do, they have to come shallow.
Which, I mean, they're on Eufaula. That's supposed to be the big bass capital of the world.
Already started, but he's trying to intercept them in that transition to where they're going to. Instead of some people, I mean, I'm looking at the 10 cameras right now.
31st has got 1 pound and 2 ounces in the box, and then it zeros the rest of the way.
Looking directly at them, and that's what's so cool about this game.
110 guys fishing, I think.
I can talk to the viewers because I see what's going on. And right now, we probably got a split. We got a split of people, fishing off the bank, trying to get them in transition area, and then we got some people, shallow looking for them. And each are doing their own different thing. I think in fishing, we can get caught up in, like say you went practicing and you got them all on a chatterbait,
Yeah.
right? You just caught them.
I mean, for the last 3 days, the wind been 13, 14 mile an hour in a kayak. That's no fun. And
I stroked it today on a spinnerbait. Man, I tried a spinnerbait. I didn't get it. And that's what's so cool about this game is that we're going to watch that unfold today and actually see.
so I could get in there to where I like to fish on pines, but
In this scenario,
then you're going to fight the wind and the current because it's flowing right now.
You were here a couple weeks ago for the BPT Red Crest, had a great event. There were fish spawning then, you said. By the end of the week, on your final round, there were fish spawning. So some of those fish could already be making their way back out. This area has had more cold weather. So that's why I think we're seeing such a variation in the techniques. But do you think that confidence plays a huge role in how you attack any lake?
Trig, if you got that spotlight and you can stay into the wind, it ain't bad. Me and Eddie went out on pines a couple weeks ago, and it was 10 to 11 the whole day, and that's the day I caught them 2 big fish
Actually, a video.
on video, and with that spotlight, it wasn't bad.
You can
I
have
mean, you
all
can't
the
do any
confidence
finesse
in the world
fishing. You got to cast
out
heavy
there on the
baits.
boat and just be confident. You're hearing him talk about, this is the bank, this is where they're going to be moving to. You got all the confidence, but confidence doesn't equal success.
Yeah, our water,
we're
we're up to spawn temps.
Conor McGregor.
Last time I was out, last Friday, we were at 58, 59 degrees. Yeah, I know you were up north. Yeah, it's still a little bit cool.
Confidence to me keeps you on edge. It keeps you ready for the bite. It keeps you prepared for.
Yeah, I imagine there's, as hot as it was last night, I imagine the water's up over 65 now.
Can't make them bite. Right.
There's probably been fish on
Go
bed.
through a spinnerbait all day long doesn't mean that's what's
But we finna have a little cold front that'll shut them down for a day or two.
What confidence
Supposed to be some bad weather in here Sunday.
I may choose a wacky worm because I'm confident with a wacky worm. The day that I'm throwing the wacky, it may not be the best lure to throw during that day, and let's say a chatterbait probably is going to catch more. But because I'm so confident and I'm on cue and I'm dialed in, for me, the wacky worm is going to be the best. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be prepared for every bite. I'm tuned in to what I'm throwing it around, and that's my choice. That's confidence is a.
Y'all, if y'all can hear David Dudley talking, listen to him. He's right. When you're fishing, fish your confidence baits.
And ready mentally, not.
Do you think in tough events?
I catch better fish on
because we've heard tough
when I hate it, the wacky worm, but I know I can use it.
Situations for sure.
They got Drew 6 in the boat now.
If you're,
and talking about a confident guy,
when you hear all those big numbers, 9s and 6 and
That's
this got 5s, and they're just coming in. They're going to be pumping. Dude, that's confident.
Our guy
Yeah.
right here, Drew 6 from Ohio.
It don't take long though once you start getting them daytime temperatures. As long as your nighttime temperatures isn't dropping real low, it doesn't take long for it to heat up.
Last night, he's like, man, I'm an offshore guy. I'm fishing off the bank. And
Carolina Reeds, yeah.
what is so
I like them
special
too. I've been
about
actually fished
Eufaula Lake
quite a bit of them
Eufaula
on that video that came out last night. They just didn't make the cut. We couldn't catch the
Because that's all we
fish.
hear.
Yeah.
Brush prop, brush prop, brush prop. You're gonna
We
hear
were
it so
getting
much
bites,
in
but we couldn't catch the fish.
Think about this. In lakes that you go to, fishing is such a game of chess.
But most of the fish are so shallow right now.
So many different games you can play in chess.
Yes, sir, that old ball and chain.
Of a chess game, there's 3
And I done got to about where if I'm gonna throw that ball and chain, I'm gonna throw a big shaky head.
It's a different game.
I catch so many good fish on them big shaky heads.
A couple moves out there, and then all of a sudden,
That big perm.
from a simple 3-move game to a 10,000 move possibilities happen. What I'm saying, we're looking at 6 right here. He's definitely offshore. You got a guy that's shallow, but when you have a lake Eufaula is a fairly relatively shallow lake.
Oh, yeah.
All these bass are not going to go to a pocket. They're not going to go to a, all
They
the
don't
way-
have to.
Yes,
They don't have
they're
to.
not going to go all the way back to the creek. So you have to look at your opponent, and your opponent is Lake Eufaula. You have to study your lake and say, hey, if I'm attacking this lake, I've got to strategize and what is so unique, you're looking at him. He's offshore. We got people offshore. You got people up there shallow, and everybody is attacking this lake in a different game. And that is what's the beauty of
Yeah, my 2 comfort baits are jig, particularly black and blue jig,
I'm a live fishing addict,
and a weighted wacky worm. I catch more fish on that than anything.
I'm going to watch it. But
If I got cover ground, I'm gonna throw a chatterbait.
You grew up on the Tennessee River, and I talk about
Or that Movement 80X, I like it.
the lake, the bass that live out on the main lake.
But the last time I was on the water, which was Sunday,
Far out in the middle of the lake, they're going to spawn.
Absolutely.
That's where they're
I was
gonna
having to throw a
spawn.
little red square bill because that's what Rob was killing them on. I couldn't get a bite until I put it on.
Is they're looking for those shallow logs, brush piles in certain areas, and that fish that they catch, think about this, Luke. That fish they catch it could actually be a spawner
In the middle of the lake.
in the middle of the lake.
And
or
I've only threw it once or twice.
could be pretty
I mean, I went up to,
You just don't know.
Tankersley. It was, everything's so dirty. I didn't have no confidence throwing that dirty water, but I threw it a couple times.
We got our first.
It looked sick in the water, I promise you.
Hey,
I think he's both of our
I
dudes.
think
Jerry.
we're not probably supposed to pull for anybody, but I'm just going to say right now, dang, this might
So,
come back.
so we got to meet with Mr. Hunter Bogman last night, a young man, 27 years old.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got somebody catching one. Let's see.
I got to meet Hunter. Yeah, we both did.
It ain't a big one, but he caught one.
Flips him in like that. Oh, Hunter, you doing that to me?
So, Hunter, 27 years old, got to talking with him last night. At 9 months old, he has bacterial meningitis. Has to have his legs amputated, his left hand, and some of his fingers. One of the most remarkable human beings I've ever had a conversation with, and rolls up just giving me grief right out of the jump. It's like, listen, I don't want you to give me too hard of a time on live tomorrow. About proud to see you guys fishing the boat there, and he's fishing deep. Yeah, told us he was really excited about the day and where it was.
He said he was fishing 20 foot deep.
Hey, we were flipping creature baits in the video coming out tonight.
To the bank, and yet he's out there in 20 foot of water throwing a jig, catching fish for this game.
Then I flipped over to a jig and got a bite.
It me to realize how many fish,
Eddie was fishing that Gene Lou.
what your strengths are.
What's it called?
And then yet we're watching live and we're like, dude, I'm
Biffle
so
bug
off.
and a watermelon.
I didn't even
They was
know,
tearing
you
them
wanna
up.
See the variety. And again, we'll bring it back up again. Lake Eufaula sets up total different, you know, the dynamics of this lake doesn't push all the fish to the bank, and these fish love to live offshore. We got, here we go. Talking about dirt, my man is almost on the bank right here. We went from a 20-foot fish catch to a, looks like, 6 inches of, water.
Up here with Paul Browning. Got to talk to Paul yesterday, and Paul has been fishing competitively for a long time, and actually last year in the Bassmaster Opens lost a tiebreaker to qualify for the Elite Series. So Paul's been at it for a while, and interestingly enough, he told me he works in the oil field industry, and he said fishing is not only his escape, but he wants it to be his future. Like he said, man, I love what I do, but I want this to be a full-time career. And he's a soft-spoken guy. He runs around with Hunter Bogman, which I don't know whether that's good or bad for him. You know, Hunter will give you a hard time. But Paul, great guy. And he said, man, I'm fishing shallow, primarily just, like I said,
They're catching some good fish.
And hoping to catch some big stage of females up there shallow.
Yeah, definitely Paul and Hunter, when I talked to both them, they're rooming together, and he did mention that they're actually, some people share all information, which means spots, and I think Hunter had found some offshore fish, and he has found some shallow water fish, but Hunter said, that if you're in a pinch, come on down here. And
that's awesome.
And we're going to see, and here's the thing, we're going to see this lake just heat up. I mean, it's getting ready to heat up.
It's supposed to be 80 degrees today.
80 degrees. You're going to see a lot. You can hear the birds chirping.
I was just about to cut you off and say, man, I want to be out there. I'm in the studio with you. It sounds like spring out there finally. We've been in the ice age in the south for about the last 3 weeks, and I'm hearing that. I'm watching the sunshine, Paul Browning. So, Dudley, give me a little breakdown, a bass tank breakdown, if you will, on what Paul's doing there in those mats. I actually had a fan ask me this question yesterday. Somebody here at this event. Those fish, they don't spawn in those mats, right? They have to have sunlight for the eggs. So break down, what's he looking for when he's flipping these mats?
So we're talking about staging fish, or it could be a post-spawn fish. I was here for the red crest a week ago.
Yeah, that's Luke talking. Luke and Dudley, David Dudley.
But what he is fishing, these mats are going to have a depth. You want to find a mat that has some depth. And when you're faced with a cold front or heavy pressure, now listen to me.
Your two that are telling you what's going on is Luke and David Dudley. And your guy out in the boat's Fat Cat Newton. It's going to be funny. It can't help but to be funny.
But also, Luke, when you get boats that are coming in and out of a lot of traffic, it's like they get scared. It's like a deer running for thick cover. The bass are going to do the same thing. They're going to go up underneath these mats, and they're going to hide.
The MP, National Professional Fishing League, NPFL. It's a new one. This is their first tournament. They're on Eufaula. They will be in April. They're going to be on Wright Patman. A professional tour level on Wright Patman. I've never bass fished that lake. I live 20 minutes from it. I've catfished it a bunch.
Wash your eggs around. It's just amazing how even fish use common sense. There's a lot of boat traffic, trolling motors, pinging of electronics. Go up underneath the mat, sit. When the pressure comes out, it kind of might ease back out, or use it for heat. So you definitely want to find something that's got a little depth.
I don't know. I mean, I know I say I don't fish it. I do. I fish it all the time, bass fish it. Lake Banjo, if you catch a fish there, the records you got to go through, if you catch a record fish, is Wright Patman. Which makes no sense to me. They're about 10 miles apart, but they're connected through the river.
last week, Luke, we've had some major cold fronts come in, and the fish have kind of went to a little loop. We threw them for a loop. Not pulled. I feel it pulled them back off again, which could have strengthened the brush pile boys, but now they're, could be moving back up. You put an 80-degree day on a spring day. I mean, there's going to be some movement happening.
Uh-oh, somebody done caught one.
I still say the brush pile boys are probably.
Yes, sir. Hey, this tour, this John Cox is fishing it. They ain't showed him yet, but he's one of my favorite ones to watch. I hope I got a camera in there with him.
Today or Saturday? Today, because they're going to be moving. Is the brush pile boys going to come out on top, or is it going to be the shallow one?
I think the guy that's up there that's found 5 big fat ones laying on the bed sight fishing is going to be the guy that comes out on top today.
All right, so
that's just because that's what I like to do. So I'm going with the home team.
I might have to agree with you on day 1, maybe, but out of the top 10, I'm going to say 3 are going to come shallow, and 7 will be off bank. Now, after this 80-degree day,
all bets are off. All bets are off.
I don't know. I might be thinking otherwise, but who knows?
All bets are off with these 80 degrees in March, warm nights. Days are getting a little longer.
I know. I just
they start feeling real good about themselves.
But again, though, we're talking, Eufaula, which is it's a bar lake.
Different animal.
It's a shallower lake, so even if they're moving to spawn, they're spawning on those shallow brush piles that they're finding, and just, who knows? Who knows? But I'm going.
We're supposed to know. I think that's what they're paying you for. You're supposed to know. You're supposed to be able to break this down and let the people at home know.
I gave my prediction. I said 3 shallow and 7 off the bank is what I'm going.
Definitely.
Right now, I'm looking at my man up there shallow, looking at them long.
The juicy.
I want a wacky where I like. My man needs just give me a wacky.
Get you out of the studio and in the game.
Give me a spinning rod.
Oh.
Yeah,
I like watching this. They're all fishing like I do. They're all of them but one they've showed so far is up beating the bank to death. And Eufaula lays out a lot like pines. What's up, Brandon?
We've gone to a guy that is, and I'm a, I got a little insider information on this. So I will say that this is my pre-tournament favorite for sure.
Right?
For sure.
No, Brandon, I ain't fishing today. It's too damn windy.
He's from Georgia. He's from this area. And all I want to say is I'm a
If I had a boat with spot lock on it, yeah, I'd probably be out beating the banks.
About this tournament. And this morning, only had like 1 rod on his deck, but I think he was playing mind games because I see a few more out there now. But
yeah,
I was told he only had 1 setup going out this morning.
Yeah, that's right. He, no doubt, you can look at the water clarity he's in. He's looking at them, but again, there's a fish that's in the spawning stage, and he's targeting them. One thing, though, Luke, I think it's interesting. I want to hear you.
Got somebody up here flipping beds right now.
Why is it that when fish are spawning, and it's like a puzzle to me. He's talking about.
Why you got your electronics on if you're bed fishing?
But to me,
That's a
if
question
the
I
bass
have
is
to
on the
ask.
bed protecting its eggs, why should time of day matter? It's like, why? Because if he's in defense mode or protective mode, 7 a.m. in the morning or 11. And we've experienced that in we experienced that, especially in Florida. These southern lakes, it's like they really heat up in the afternoon for spawners. But it's just puzzling to me. Why wouldn't that fish bite at 7 a.m. and be like, okay,
One of those great mysteries.
I'm just going to bite at 12 o'clock. I'm going to be defensive at 12 o'clock today, but not 7 a.m. It's like, I wonder if they think that the lure coming through their bed, they're like, yeah, you can't see my eggs. It's too early in the morning for you to see my eggs. Uh-oh. I think we got a fish catch coming up. That's like,
Catfish. That's my luck. I had to show y'all he was hollering. It was a big one. I didn't know it was going to be a catfish.
We've got our man Joel Willard hooked up, and he is
I'm putting that in the box. That's a good eater.
probably an unknown to a lot of bass fishing fans out there, but
I'll
I've
be
been
back.
fortunate
I'll put
to
the other
spend
out.
some time with Joel over the years
Raising
on the FLW tour. Joel actually used to fish co-angler, which was the amateur side of the FLW tour for a while. Had back-to-back co-angler wins, which is something that I don't think has ever been done. But Joel also qualified for the Forest Book Cup in his very first year as a professional. And Joel is going to feed us all at weigh-in with that delicious catfish that he just brought in the boat.
That is definitely a.
That's not what we're looking for. It's the National Professional Fishing League. I know we're not specific. We don't say bass. We don't say, but not catfish. We are strictly largemouth and spotted bass this week.
That's right. Yeah.
So Jay Willie, as I like to refer to him as, probably got a little slime on his hands.
Yeah.
But now Joel was a guy that told me first day of practice, found brush piles loaded with bass. He said, "Man, I got so many bites. I've never been here. I did the brush pile thing." And then he said, then it started warming up and they're gone.
Oh, they're in Alabama.
I noticed he's offshore there, so
Yeah.
we'll see how it shakes out for him.
You follow Alabama.
That's it. Drive-through weigh-in, though. A drive-through weigh-in. 110 boats. The guys get to bring their entire rig through weigh-in starting at 2:30 this afternoon. Live stream. Man, I hear the birds, I hear the crows. It feels like to me, and you'll know when I get, and any of y'all fishermen out there listening will understand what I mean, but it feels like they're on the bed.
Oh,
Just listen to it. When I walked out of the hotel this morning and you're like, you don't need a jacket.
Yeah.
At 6:30, you're like,
You go by we grew up.
Yeah, I imagine they're pretty close to what we are.
The saloon or table.
I mean, it's a little bit further south than us, not much, but they're on beds here. I promise you. You go catch bedded fish if you can find them today. They've been catching a few up on Ford.
So salooner to me doesn't play as big of a role in my thought.
I promise you can go hit the back of one of them creeks on Pines right now. If you can find any clear water, you can find just fish on beds.
In your mind, it pumps me up, right? It pumps it like.
Only problem is it's about 11 foot high right now. They might be up in the woods on bed.
It's definitely an exciting.
so you don't think the moon affects it as much as people think?
No, the moon does. Yeah, absolutely. The moon is a definite player. It helps the fish see what is doing their thing.
Sick, it is too windy to be in a kayak today.
Feeding at night. Moon plays a. So here's my. When
That's the question I'm asking myself.
bright as it is, during whatever
Yeah,
season,
that's
when it's full.
Gary. Yeah, they're definitely.
As bright as it is. As bright as it gets.
I ain't got nowhere to fish from the bank. And I actually tried to film y'all bank fishing video the other day at this pond that was supposed to be a killer pond.
Huge difference on how they're going to bite in the morning because of
There was 3 fish caught with 4 people fishing, and the biggest one weighed about a half pound.
if the moon is full.
And I wasn't one of them that caught one.
They can't see. They don't And so
Is it only showing at 4 foot high?
Be incredible.
Hey, I know the other day when I drove by it, it was way
The
up.
moon is bright and the clouds are not covering that moon. A lot of those fish feed at night. They don't
4
have to
foot
feed
high.
during the day. They can see and do what they want to do at night. So the morning bite is going to be tough.
I hate to sound like this, hate to be like this, trees. But
Through fishing,
I hope there's some high wind, sun that blows a couple green oak trees over into the water that I can get to.
what's happening at night versus what's
I'll show y'all a little trick.
I think a lot of our deer hunters that are out there can relate to that.
After that storm, I don't care what the wind's gonna be like
It's
that.
worse for your deer hunt because they roam around all night.
I gotta get up there.
Dark anyways, but that just aids them because they can see and it gets them up and active.
Gotta get up there,
And
shit.
their
I
daylight
got to.
activity, daytime activity is a lot less.
I hadn't really talked about it much, but me and old Rob are finna make a road trip, but we're gonna head south instead of northeast.
So Jesse Millsaps,
And we're gonna head southeast.
fishing family. in
About
Georgia,
far
they
southeast
are-
as you can get in
they
this
are
country.
Fish catchers. I fished against his uncle Jimmy Millsaps, fished the FLW tour. You fished against Jimmy. Canton, Georgia boy, Lake Lanier boy, Jimmy Millsaps. And first time I ever got to talk to Jesse, he's like, "Yeah, you knew my Uncle Jimmy?" And I said, "Yeah, Uncle Jimmy just used to take everybody's money. That's what Uncle Jimmy used to do." So I expect big things out of Jesse. Now I'll say this about Jesse: wasn't the most thrilled that he got picked for a live camera for day one. And I think he didn't want to give away the goods maybe on day one. So I'm expecting big things just because of that reaction. He actually, Double D, he looked at me and said, "This is all your fault." That was what I got from him. And I was like, "Hey, Jesse, stand down. Stand down. Stand down, dude." So, yeah, stand down with that attitude. Jesse. Just kidding. I didn't actually tell him to stand down. Big Jesse Millsap.
No, we're finna go on like an 18-hour road trip, trees.
He looks like he's in the goods. And like you said, that watercolor was noticeably different.
Yeah, we're
than
going.
where we saw Paul Browning earlier.
About as far southeast as you can get in the United States, not
you
Texas.
can see,
He's moving around a lot.
moving around and not
quick.
making many casts.
I'm gonna be going to Caddo. When I get my boat rigged up, I'm probably gonna go over and spend a few days.
Number one, you got to be quiet, and of course, moving around. But I will say this: here's a tip I want to tell you.
Sounds like Florida then. Yes, sir, it does.
Not casting, seen looking, seen just going around.
Get around some that are active.
The reason you see that is because you can pull a fish away with your lure that was locked hard
It's gonna.
and go by the bed and it looked empty.
We're going after
And it was actually a fish
peacocks.
bed.
That's why we're going down there.
All right, finally, we're on my dude.
Next time I go to Caddo, I'm gonna try to get Eddie, Mr. Eddie, Fast Eddie, as I call him, to take me over. He knows that lake pretty well.
That's Mr. Kevin Rogers from Oklahoma, who has an incredible
I figure he might sneak in here. I know he's at work, but I know he looks at his phone.
A little bit. My man is incredible with his electronics. Got to talk to him last night, and he's, known in the fishing world as a crappie fisher.
And everybody talks about Wally Marshall, Mr. Crappie, but that boy right there is the crappie king. He's the crappie king.
Yeah.
Wally Marshall, Mr. Crappie, that's the crappie king right there. But he's coming for a dose of these bass boys' money.
That's right. And he's coming hard after it. And he, we both talked to him last night.
Awesome. 30 wins.
30
Yeah,
wins.
over 30 wins.
Over 30 wins. That to me is just, you're in another world. And just to watch, I'm anxious to watch him, see how he breaks down the lake of bass today. He probably will.
Woo! Boy.
I got this guy named Kevin Rogers fishing. I've seen his story. He's a crappie fisherman. He's out here fishing this pro tournament. They're gonna be in trouble if it's about electronics.
Dialed in with his live scope, his forward-facing sonar. He told me, "I'm not going to make a lot of casts tomorrow that I'm not actually looking at a fish to throw my bait at." So he is in brush piles, and he was very confident about what he thought he could do. But as he told us just a few seconds ago, he's staying hung up a little bit. He's staying snagged a little bit this morning.
Yeah, he's out in the middle of the lake fishing brush piles with that live scope.
And I won't give away everything that Kevin told us. I'm hoping it plays out here for all the fans to see. Because I told him we keep some of the secrets here day one.
All right, Cedar Creek.
Throwing the jig here, but he
Have a good one. I'll see you Thursday night.
normally see offshore.
I know
Another one of our guys
Billy gonna have to have one Thursday night.
is John Suckup, and John is also.
Oh, that's tonight. Excuse me.
Very similar.
I think today's Tuesday always,
Both very good with their electronics dialed in.
or all day.
Of course, we got to talk about the Ford
It's going to
thing.
come up
Right.
a lot over 3 days.
It's going to.
And this is actually the first break I've had since Sunday.
It's like
I've been going hard.
Even looking at the lake, it's not like he's looking at what he's doing.
Yesterday I edited about
Maybe some
5.5 hours of video.
He basically has sonar that is looking ahead of him all the way up to, you can go to 120 feet in front of you. So which, as you can see, he's offshore. It helps you utilize your cast so you're not wasting cast. To me, it's a huge time saver. You can see the fish, time saver, and just being able to see what you're doing out there on the water. And I know he is an extra. Being a crappie fisherman and not having forward-facing sonar, you're out. You know, you may as well. You're not even.
It changed everything.
Yes, you're not
Changed
even going
everything.
to get a check without forward-facing sonar.
Or dinner.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about crappie fishing. In Bass World, we're using TH Green G Juice, keeping fish alive. In Crappie World, they just cut the sides out of have big fish fry. I'm here for that.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Every time I catch a crappie, I just flip it in the boat, and I'm like, yep,
You ain't gonna
that's
catch 'em
fish
like that.
taco.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's a
fish
taco.
taco.
That's there.
But again, his you know, these guys fishing. Let's talk a little bit about brush piles. He mentioned shaky head. You know, some of the best lures that you can throw for logs and trees. He's getting hung up on his jig. The jig is basically, it'll have a weed guard, but brush piles you can get hung up in. You know that Luke
Oh, yeah.
fishing.
I just get hung a lot, period.
And as soon as here we go, as soon as he picked up the spinning rod, he mentioned that a little while ago.
Boy, I hate that fluorocarbon leader on that braid. That thing scares me. Hey, we found a paper fish, though. Get in there.
I showed a few fish catches. Ain't none of them been anything
No
big.
nets allowed.
Couple
No
keepers though.
nets allowed. I want to throw that. It's our first. Was that a crappie? Okay, just making sure.
Okay. All right. Calm down. We found a bait.
Here we go.
We found something. We found bait. When in doubt, shaky head 'em. See him down there.
So
We're fishing behind someone, still coming on shaky head. So maybe
Yeah, and we were just about to talk about
we found. We found out.
there's a lot of talk about the electronics. People say, it's forward-facing sonar. It's going to ruin everything. It's opening up so many opportunities, and they act like it's shooting fish in a barrel. But talking to Kevin last night, talking to John Suckup, and you just heard.
What do y'all think about the forward-facing sonar? All three of
There
them.
are literally.
Woo! Okay.
You still have to go through your rotation of baits. Even though you're seeing fish and you know exactly where they are, exactly where to make your cast,
Okay.
you are having to work through your progression.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Get back in there.
So here he
But it's so funny watching it. It's so funny watching him go through the emotions of it, man.
Anyone? It's amazing what a fish pit will do for the attitude of the
All right,
boat.
so I think we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to let the beautiful Fat Cat Newton tell you about Lunker Text and some other great things, and we'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Thank you,
All right.
fishing fans, for tuning in. We are, I promise you,
Practice, but
the
hey,
closer we get to that 11 o'clock hour, that lunchtime hour, things are going to go down.
Hey there, Fisher World Woodcheckers. Fat Cat Newton coming at you with some big news.
the National Professional Fishing League has teamed up with Lunkertech.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lunkertech says it is an awesome platform.
I like it and I don't.
To your phone with all
That 360 though, I seen it in action out there on Welch,
throughout the day of 21 hours.
and it didn't do as good in grass as everybody talks like it does. Now the guy that was running it may not have knew exactly what he was doing.
During live streaming, all you have to do is go to lunkertech.com/NPFL and be a part of the movement where you get the biggest, baddest bait for the best price.
Omega products are built by fishermen for fishermen. We set out to build the best vibrating jig on the market. The blending of high-end components, a detailed assembly process, and a burning desire to achieve perfection are the pillars of the Rapture bait. Nothing in life worth having comes easy. The Rapture was no different. Countless hours of testing and retesting. The result, a vibrating jig that hunts, hooks, and catches bass like no other.
Yeah, I mean, I think with any of it, your head's gonna be in it too much. And I don't really, my style of fishing, the 360 would be a better option.
Truck, ATV, and so much more. Blue Water by
I mean,
TH Marine.
if I had it, I might go hunt for them fish during the wintertime when they're grouped up out deep. You know, with A-rig, big swim boats. But most of the year, that 360 would be a better option. Watch this old boy with it though out on this brush pile, and he's catching his second fish in the last 5 minutes now. Not a keeper, the second one. But I mean, between that spot lock and that garn and that forward facing sonar, it's changed bass fishing 100%.
Crappie King right here, Kevin Rogers. Got his first.
You couldn't go even fish a local derby and compete without either one, I don't think, anymore. Maybe the next 2 months, then once it gets hot, you're not. You're going to have it if you're going fishing local derbies even.
Guys, whenever you have a brush pile, you can see these fish, right? You're looking at boards, you know they're there, and he knew they were there. He even said before he got up to the pile, I probably need to switch to a different bait to catch them. And, you know, he came through with spinner bait, came through it with a jig, switched up to a shaky head, and caught them. That's just being a good, these guys, you just watch that right before your eyes. Again, I'm a huge live fan. I never chime out for live because it's, even as long as I've been in the game, I eat this up.
First place is 18-4, second's 12-4, third's 10-5. John Cox is fifth with 9 pounds.
To a shaky head, you just watched it before your eyes. Watch it go from a power making adjustments, and to catching a 2-pounder, catching another keeper, and when you're at a time, you got to play along right there. You can see what I'm passing to here. Let me get my first time. You know, they got 8 hours. You can't play around. Yeah, absolutely.
Shooting out there 70 feet, nothing on the screen out there. Empty. See him way out there? Little, right out there about 55 feet. See it? Brush pile out there. I'll get closer. It'll closer I get.
He's mine too. I like the way he beats the banks and gets up in the spots that nobody else will. That's what I like about him.
You'll see it coming up. Oh, cool. Look at him swimming right there. About 35
Kevin's
feet.
gonna show.
Cool.
You know, he's got his live
Cool.
scope
Look at
set
that
up.
one there.
Cameraman's gonna actually
Right up the bottom there, glowing
what's
like
going
a
on in the back of that boat.
son of a gun. actually the screen that Kevin is looking at on the bow, but he's got those networked together so you can see them there. So maybe we'll get to see a fish bite that chick again on that line scoop.
Have you seen that John Cox's new boat? The boat he's fishing out of this year.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, it's a barge. Something like 60 square foot on the front deck.
For a waypoint,
Oh my God, that's big as my bedroom. Come on now. Oh, big as my bathroom anyway.
with that should scream 60-degree water temperature should scream over the thing. It screams wacky work. Yes. All right, Dudley, I think we have our first Fat Cat on the Water brought to you by Lumber Tech's segment this morning. We're going to go out on Lake Eufaula.
Uh-oh, they're finna bring Fat Cat up. Now this is what I'm here
He's been out
for.
there running around all morning.
Hour and 12 minutes waiting on
We
it.
saw him wearing his life jacket in the parking lot. He was so excited. So we're going to get to see what the big cat's got going on this morning. It's like I'm anticipating this moment. I love it. Well, just a lot can happen, right? And we know that. Just a lot can happen. So he brings a different angle to all things bass fishing. Our man, Fat Cat Newton. Go to him here in a second. And hopefully he's got us
All the way to 40th, they got fish in the boat.
challenge big bass up there. Yeah. Here we go. Bring on the big cat.
I think they're paying the top 35, something like that. And this one doesn't cut you out. It's not a one day, get to the next day, get to the last day.
Hey there, Fisher World. What's
That ain't how it works. You fish all 3 days.
Inaugural event for National Professional Fishing League. Water temp right now is warming up. We're at about 61 degrees right now. We're at the mouth of Tom Man Slough. Just got talking to old Big Daddy Shipley. He's got one of the live well. He's missed a sixer. We talked to Buddy Linehan. Sorry, Buddy, I'm botching your name. It just has ham in the name, son. Get a little crazy. But Buddy, this morning we talked to him. He had missed a 4-pounder, missed a 6-pounder. Then we watched him. He caught a 3-pounder, throwing a little creature bait, and he had missed 2 good ones on that crawl. It's crazy right now. We got a little bit of water moving in. The wind's moving good for us, and it's just nothing. Wow, Bobby just flying across. But it's going to be, it's turning on. We're about to head south. We're going to go find Doug Chapman. Doug Chapman's supposed to got 15 pounds, and we're just now getting the party started. So we're going to head southbound to Hammerdown and give you guys an update when we find Doug Chapman with that fat sack in the live well. Hey, Dudley, Luke, y'all better not be messing up in there, because I'm out here making a wall-to-wall treat out doll, so if y'all are screwing up, I'm going to come in there and tighten y'all up. Back to y'all.
Rob's caught him one. They went back to his boat.
Oh, okay. The Fat Cat mullet is something to behold. We're needing a few B-roll shots of that, fluttering in the breeze. Maybe a bald eagle flies back.
All right, y'all.
Do with that Fat Cat mullet, but
I may come back when they do the weigh-in.
we probably
But we're gone now.
this morning, but that is something that I want to talk about, dude. This is